Hi, my name is Muaz, and in this video we're going to be going through exercise 3.1, and in this exercise we're going to launch and connect to a Linux instance. So we're going to be going from steps 1 through 13. So we're going to head over to the AWS Management Console and head over to EC2. And from here we're going to click Launch Instance, and we're launching a Linux instance. So choose the first AMI, which is the Amazon Linux AMI. And we're going to choose the t2.micro instance type. So different instance types have different combinations of CPU, memory, storage, and networking capacity. So this one's free, so we're going to go ahead and choose the t2.micro instance type, which is a small instance, very small instance. So next, configure instance details. Over here, we're launching only one instance. We're going to leave most of these settings default. We're going to launch our instance in our default VPC. Next, we're going to add storage, and we're also going to leave this as is. Next, we're going to add tags, and over here, add a tag. We're going to name our instance my first instance, and we're going to do next, configure security group. So we're going to create a new security group. Just name this my security group. And for the type of traffic, we're going to choose SSH because we're going to SSH into our instance. Protocol's fine, port rate's fine. For source, we're going to choose my IP, so only we can access our instance. And we can leave the rest as is. Review and launch. Now we can just review everything that we've already set in these steps. And we can click launch. Okay, so now you need to download your private key file to access your, when we want to connect to our instance, it's going to ask for this private key file that we're going to download right now. So we're going to say create a new key pair, and we're going to name the key pair my key. So this is the private key file that you're going to download on your computer. So make sure you download that because we're going to need this key to access our instance. So we're going to say launch instance. And before you do that, if you want to, you can quickly read here about how the key pairs work. Okay, so we're going to launch instance, and there we go. And now if we go to view instances, you can see that our instance is launching. So now we're going to have to connect to this instance. So we're going to use an SSH client to connect to our Linux instance. So you can download PuTTY, which I already have, but I'll show you how to download PuTTY. So you can go to putty.org, and from here it says download PuTTY. Just click here. And we're going to download PuTTY over here. So you can download PuTTY from here. And you'll also have to download, if you go down, the PuTTY Gen tool. And I'll explain exactly what that's for. So I already have these two downloaded. I'll show you right here. I have the PuTTY. I have PuTTY, the actual SSH client, and PuTTY Gen. So what PuTTY Gen is, it generates your key. It converts your key. So the private key file that we just downloaded from AWS, so we just downloaded this key from AWS. This key is not compatible with the PuTTY SSH client, so you have to convert it first using the PuTTY Gen tool, and it'll convert it to a PPK file, and that file is compatible with the PuTTY with PuTTY. And so yeah, so you need to make sure you do that. So make sure you go and download PuTTY and PuTTY Gen, and once your instance is running, you can click connect, and you can copy EC2 user at your public DNS right here. So just copy that, and then head over to PuTTY. So sorry, first before we go to PuTTY, we need to convert our key. So go to PuTTY Gen. Just let me find out where I have this saved quickly. So I quickly went and got my my private key file, and I moved it to the same folder. So now we're gonna convert it. So open up PuTTY Gen and say load. So we're gonna load our private key file that we downloaded from AWS. So that's in the PuTTY folder, all files, and we choose our key, open, okay, it's successfully, and then say save private key. And it says, are you sure you want to save it without a passphrase? That's fine. Say yes. And now we can just name it again. So we're going to write converted key. Converted key, and save that. Okay. Close this. So now we have the converted key, so the PPK file, and then the private key file that we downloaded from AWS, from the management console. So now we can go to PuTTY, and once again, we already copied our username at our public DNS. So paste that here, and then go to SSH and authorization, and over here you're going to choose your converted key. So right here, your converted key, open, and now you can open, and you should connect to your instance. Click yes, and so you've successfully connected to your Linux instance. So now we're gonna just install any security update for our instance and run sudo yum update security -y. Okay, I wrote sudo yum. Let me just fix that. Sudo yum update security -y. Sudo. Okay, let me just make sure everything's fine. Click enter and it'll download. So it says no packages marked for update. Okay, so let me just do sudo yum update. And so it says yes, and so it updated everything. Just give it some time. So it tells us it's complete. So now that it's complete, we can close our session, click OK, and you can terminate your instance so you don't incur any charges. So just go to Actions, Instance State, and Terminate.